Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to today's education-based Indiana High School Athletic Association Varsity Boys Baseball game. This radio coverage is made possible through audiosportsonline.net. That's ASO. That's Rob Kendall from the Kendall and Casey Show. That's weekday mornings, 9 to noon on 93.1 FM. Just go to WIBC.com. Today's game is going to feature the Indianapolis Lutheran Saints as they go against the Lafayette Central Catholic Knights. Tell you what, right now, there's a little bit of rain falling. We are at Grand Park in Westfield. What a fabulous use of acreage. As a matter of fact, I do remember before this park was built, I rode around in a car with the real estate agents and an owner of part of the property here. And as she was debating whether or not to sell the property for this facility. And that's the absolute truth. She let it go, and she didn't own all of it, but she helped to make way for a very beautiful place for youngsters to be. So we'll mention Lutheran. They're having a powwow right there. They're having opening prayer out in front of their dugout. The Knights have done the same. We'll mention the Knights, I believe, going to be the home team on the scoreboard. We'll mention this game slated to start about 5:30. Umpires are walking up right now. Going to be two of those two umpires. They're wearing the dark blue. That is customary for high school baseball. We'll talk a little bit about each school. First, we'll mention the Class 1A, Sectional 58, Indianapolis Lutheran Saints. The Saints, their school enrollment is 267, just 35 students less than Central Catholic. We'll mention Class 1A, Sectional 58. There will be only four teams in their sectional. Their sectional will take place at Indianapolis Lutheran High School. The Eminence, that's the Eminence Eels, Greenwood Christian Academy. They are the Cougars, Indianapolis Lutheran, the Saints, and Providence Cristo Rey, the Wolves. We'll mention the athletic director at Indianapolis Lutheran High School is Tom Fincham. The athletic assistant is Amy Andre. They're getting ready to have a coaches meeting at home plate. And I will mention the Indianapolis Lutheran Saints, their high school located at 55545. That's South Arlington Avenue in Indianapolis, 46237. You can reach them by phone by dialing 317-787-5474. On the web, you can find them at lhsi.org/athletics/. They wear the collars maroon and gold. They're going with the maroon uniforms today. Knights going with the all gray uniform. They're probably going to put some lights on here momentarily. It's a bit of a dark sky here on the surface, but it should be pretty good once the game gets going. And we'll also mention Indianapolis Lutheran Saints. They are in the Indiana Crossroads Conference. There are 6 teams in the Crossroads Conference at the Indiana Crossroads Conference, and they are Covenant Christian, Greenwood Christian, Heritage Christian, Indianapolis Lutheran, Cardinal Ritter, and Indianapolis Cecina. The Knights are familiar with Indianapolis Cecina. They are on their schedule. We'll go ahead and mention, we'll let you know the makeup of the Lutheran Saints sectional. That's Class 1A, Sectional 58. It's going to be like this. We'll mention it's going to start on Saturday. That'll be May 31st. They'll have a 10 o'clock game, 10 a.m. will be Providence Cristo Rey and Eminence. And then the second game that same day on Saturday the 31st will start at 1 p.m. Boy, I'd like to have the 1 p.m. game compared to the 10 a.m. And we'll mention Greenwood Christian Academy will go against Indianapolis Lutheran in the 1 o'clock game. Then they'll come back, the two winners. Two winners of those two games will come back on Monday, Memorial Day, for the sectional championship in Class 1A, sectional 58. That'll happen Monday, the second day of June, and that'll be a 5:30 ball game. So that's Indianapolis Lutheran Saints. We'll talk about the Knights here in just a moment. We'll mention the Knights are going to take the field. Umpires are going to knuckle up. They're getting ready to play, and the home plate umpire going to shake hands with the Knights catcher, that's Jackson Kane. And we'll mention around the infield for Central Catholic. Doing the pitching today for Central Catholic going to be Vince Talenko. Vince Talenko wears number 25. Vince Talenko currently has 24 and 2/3 innings under his belt. This is going to be game appearance number 7. This is also going to be start number 7. He's faced 118 batters. He has thrown 343 pitches. Vince Talenko win-loss record, he's got 4 wins, does not have a loss. He's given up 28 hits on the season. That's in 118 batters. So he's given up 28 hits, 15 runs. 9 of those runs were earned. He has walked 8 batters. He has struck out 8 batters, and 2 of those batters went down looking. So Vince Talenko will do the pitching for the Knights, and the catcher will be Jackson Kane. He'll wear number 3. At first base will be number 30, Gus Sandberg. Second base, number 12, Alex Schumer. At shortstop, number 11, Mikey Stapleton, back in the lineup. He's back playing again. He was a little bit airy, but he missed a couple games, but he's looking good. I just watched him throw one first base from shortstop. And at third base, it's going to be number 9, Hudson Gutwein. We'll mention in left field for the Knights today is number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. In center field is number 13, Calvin Reisman. And in right field, number 5, Colton Minnick. I should mention the coach for the Indianapolis Lutheran Saints, that is Joshua Meany. Josh Meany, I got to admit, I spoke with him probably 3 or 4 times before the ball game. What a kind gentleman. They are fortunate to have him as the baseball coach. And Josh Meany tells me that their baseball program going to catch up with their football program. That's going to take some doing because the Lutheran Saints in football are pretty much unheard of. You just wonder how. You think back Central Catholic Knights back in the day, Coach Kevin O'Shea had a team, probably several teams, about like Lutheran. So stepping in, first batter in the ball game, Lutheran Saints, going to be number 1, Nate Hughes. First pitch, Talenko. Swung on, ground ball, shortstop, Mikey Stapleton. He'll throw across the diamond. He'll get the put out with Gus Sandberg, and there's 1 out here in the top of the first. And it's 5:30 p.m. on the AT&T wristwatch. This game is being brought to you by AT&T. We use AT&T more than 30 years, so working well. So stepping into bat, going to be the 2-hitter, number 4, Dax Locklear. Locklear plays third base. He's a right-handed batter. Here comes the pitch from Vince. Ground ball, second base. Fielded there by Alex Schumer. He'll throw next door, get the put out with Gus Sandberg, and there are 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. So the next batter in the lineup for the Lutheran Saints is going to be the 3-hitter, number 12, Hudson Mills. Hudson Mills is a left-handed batter. He's going to play left field in today's ball game. Here and then, look at the signals. Out of the windup, here comes the pitch. Swung on. Going to be a foul ball. Going to go airborne. Going to go left side. Giving it a good look there was third baseman for the Knights, Hudson Gutwein. He ran out of real estate. He goes out of play. So no balls, 1 strike. 3-hitter Hudson Mills. He's going to step back in, working from the windup, peering over the glove. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Backdoor curveball, misses outside. Count goes 1-1. No scoreboard available here at Grand Park. They've got everything. They've got a score-keeping opportunity, but nobody's keeping it. It was swung on, foul ball, back out of play. So I believe it's 1-2. We'll do the best we can to keep up with the ball strike situation. I know over at Lebanon one year, the scoreboard went out in the first inning. That made it tough for a guy like me. Peering in, looking at signals, out of the windup, here comes the pitch. Gonna foul one right side. He was kind of fighting that off. That ball was low and inside. Pretty unbelievable. He got a bat on that baseball. Hudson Mills, I believe the count's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Early going, top of the first inning, 2 outs. Here comes the wind and the pitch from Vince Talenko. Backdoor curveball, swing and a miss. So he'll go down swinging and he'll go back to the dugout. And that's going to complete the top of the first inning. So the Knights going to bat in the bottom half. We'll mention Lutheran Saints send 3 to the plate. And they are all retired. And the Knights going to bat in the bottom of the first inning. We'll mention doing the pitching today for Lutheran. The Lutheran Saints sends to the pitcher's mound number 8. That's Noah Barassi. Noah Barassi wears number 8, so we'll talk a little bit about him. We would, see, I'll double check here. I'm not going to be able to mention his stats. Do not have those. Have about 9 other pitchers, but we'll mention Barassi going to do the pitching. The catcher is going to be Caleb Courteau. He wears number 21. He did wear 25. He misplaced his jersey. I'm not trying to make fun of him, but that's just what the coach told me. So working as a left-handed pitcher is Noah Barassi. Playing first base today for the Lutheran Saints, number 99, Gage Meany. Gage Meany, I bet you he's the son of Coach Joshua Meany. And I should mention, I was in the dugout talking to Coach, and I heard a young gal, must have been a manager, call Coach Dad. So he must have a manager daughter in the dugout, and his son is playing first base, number 99. Second baseman for Lutheran Saints wears number 10, that's Landon Parker. At shortstop, number 20, Mason Phelps. At third base, number 4, Dax Locklear. In left field, number 12, Hudson Mills. In center field, number 1, Nate Hughes. And in right field, number 11, Owen Lecker. So the Knights going to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. And there's just one drink in there, that's it. But so the Knights getting ready to bat. Barassi gonna knuckle it up. Gonna get new baseball. Actually, got some drizzle out there. Gonna probably have to go with some different baseballs today. Gonna be drying baseballs, maybe right and left. I will mention the pitcher will probably not be denied a baseball unless all the baseballs are the same caliber of wetness. So probably going to have the lights on here sometime. We hope so. It's kind of tinted where I'm at. Still getting some warm-up tosses on the pitcher's rubber is left-handed pitcher Noah Barassi. I got to admit, I like where I'm at. I'm in a press box. It's behind home plate. There are 4 diamonds, and then this particular press box has 4 sides, and they're all open up here. One of the officials, one of the umpires came up here. He's trying to avoid some rain. I think he's no dummy, but he's up here. That's okay with me. But the Knights getting ready to bat in the bottom of the first inning. So they play baseball here. If it's turf, it's playable. I know I umpired a game probably about 3 or 4 years ago. It's actually 2 games. It was a tournament of men's league. They played at Cascade High School. And it was raining, but they needed to get that tournament in. That's why they played at Cascade. They have the turf, and that water drains nicely. But they did get the tournament in. That was a men's league. They played 9 innings or 3 hours, whichever comes first. Stepping in for the Knights, Central Catholic. Going to be the one-hitter, number 9, Hudson Gutwine, is playing third base. Peering in, looking at signals, out of the stretch, nobody on base. Here comes the pitch from Barassi. outside edge, strike call. No balls, one strike, one hitter. Bottom of the first, Hudson Gutwein. Out of the stretch, here comes the pitch from Barassi. Going to be hit by pitch, breaking pitch, a little bit too close to the batter and got Hudson Gutwein on the inside edge. So he'll jog down to first base. And Hudson Gutwein on the season picks up hit by pitch number 10. 10 times Gutwein has jogged to first. Hit by pitch. Stepping in, second batter for the night. It's going to be number 12, Alex Schumer. Second baseman, left-handed batter. Facing the lefty, Noah Barassi out of the set. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball one. So Hudson Gutwein on the season, he's got 13 stolen bases. He's been caught twice. Mikey Stapleton also 13, but he's not been caught yet. Out of the set, here's the pitch from Barassi. Outside and low, ball two. 2 balls, no strikes. Steps back in. Alex Schumer, junior class member. He's going to square the bunt. Pulls the bat back, balls across the zone, strike called. 2 balls, 1 strike. I'm happy I can see the fingers of the umpire. That's going to help tremendously. Pickoff move, first base without a step. Pretty good flip move, but it's in the synthetic dirt. The dirt looks like I don't know, probably brick dust infield would be the simulation. Alice said, here's the pitch. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. 2-2 count to Schumer. Signals given. First base coach, Coach Tim Bourdonnais. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of stretch. His catcher, Caleb Courteau. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Barassi. Swung on, swing and a miss. And he'll walk back to the dugout. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Next batter to step in for the Knights. Going to be number 10, Lucas Gerke. Gerke's going to be the DH in the ballgame today. He's going to bat for the pitcher, Vince Talenko. Here comes the pitch. It's right across the dish, knee high, strike called. No balls, 1 strike. Runner aboard, he got hit by pitch, is Hudson Gutwein. He's at first base. 1 out, bottom of the first inning. Lucas going to take a shot to right field. He's going to bounce in there. 1 hop in the glove of Owen Lecker. And Lucas Gerke gets aboard with a base hit. Moves the runner, Hudson Gutwein, to second base. So the Knights going to send to the plate the 4-hitter. 4-hitter, that's number 3, Jackson Kane. Mikey Stapleton, he's just getting back in the lineup. He's going to bat in the 5th spot. So Knights have 2 aboard, first and second. 1 out. Peering in, looking at signals. He'll look at the wristband on the wrist. That's pitcher Noah Barassi. Pitch comes in low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Stepping back in. Jackson Kane, right-handed batter, facing the lefty. Noah Barassi. Working out a stretch. He'll check second base out of set. A couple times, here's the pitch. Gonna foul 1 back to the screen. Jackson Kane goes 1-1 on the count. Chasing that ball down. Going to be the next batter. It's going to be the whole batter. It's Gus Sandberg chasing that loose ball behind home plate. Peering in, looking at signals. Noah Barassi checks the wristband out of the stretch. Now the set, he'll check second base. Here's the pitch. Low and good block by the catcher, Caleb Courteau. The count goes 2-2. Let me back that up. The count goes 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 aboard, first and second base. Peering in, looking at signals. Checks the wristband. Barassi out of the set position. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Jackson's going to fly 1 right side, well out of play. So now the count's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Bottom of the first inning. Peering in, looking at signals. That's Noah Barassi. Barassi wears number 8. You'll check the wristband out of the stretch. Now the set position. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch, foul ball. Third base side, it was on the ground. And Coach Bournet just stood still, let it go on by him. So the count remains 2-2 to Jackson Kane. Going to get a baseball replenishment. And I'm Jackson Kane, right-handed batter, going to step back in. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of stretch. Checks the wristband. Out of set position. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Jackson Kane will go down on strikes. And Hudson Gutwein, just in case a snap throw was coming to second base, slides back in safe at first. So there are 2 outs on the diamond. Knights have 2 aboard. First and second base. Stepping into bat for the Knights, 5-hitter number 11, Mikey Stapleton. He's playing the shortstop position. Out of set position, checks second, first pitch to Stapleton. Ground ball foul. Left of third base. Good glove there. Didn't have to glove it, but did. Made a good play. That's Dax Locklear, the third baseman. So no balls, 1 strike. Knight's going to retouch the bag after a foul ball. Peering in, looking at signals. Noah Barassi out of set position. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Stapleton. Inside. Home plate umpire might have thought it got him. Evidently didn't. So changed his tune in a hurry. You got to be close. You got to be fair. You're the home plate umpire. You got to be ready for a lot of things. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Stapleton, right-handed batter. Peering in, looking at signals. Noah Barassi, the pitcher. Out of set position, he'll check second base. Here's the pitch. High and tight. Mikey Stapleton, pretty good athlete, can get out of the way. Mikey Stapleton, a tremendous football athlete for Coach Brian Ney. He'll be his senior year coming up next fall. Working out a stretch, peering in, looking at signals. Noah Barassi checks the wristband. Out of set, he'll check second base. Here comes the pitch. Inside the ball, thought about a snap throw to second base. Back in there head first is Gutwein. Might have been Caleb Courteau, realized that Gutwein wanted to get back last time without a throw. So he might have been faking right there because he saw that happen. We'll never know because we'll never ask him. Peering in and out of the stretch, he'll step off the back of the rubber. Mikey Stapleton, 5-hitter for the Knights. 2 outs, 2 on, first and second. Bottom of the first inning, no score. We're at Grand Park. We're on field D3. We were going to be on D1. They moved it to the synthetic field turf. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's going to be a foul tip. We'll see a foul ball off the bat of Mikey. And Mikey took the brunt of that. That ball got him on the leg. He'll walk it off. You know he's going to stay in the ball game. He's just that type of guy. So he'll step back in. Another baseball replenishment. Here in the bottom of the first inning. Stepping in the rubber. Peering in, looking at signals. Noah Barassi, pitcher for the Lutheran Saints. Right-handed batter, Mikey Stapleton, a long pier. Now out of a set position. Here comes the pitch. Take it off for third base. Going to double steal. Going to be a base hit. Goes into left field. A good effort right there by shortstop, Mason Phelps. And I'm scoring from second base on the base hit by Mikey Stapleton is Hudson Gutwein. So Hudson Gutwein scoring with 2 outs. Home plate umpire going to ask the guys to go ahead and get in the dugout, make it safe. They're going to let 1 guy out of the dugout, scorekeeper. But if it's not necessary, it's not necessary. So runners at first and second again. Mikey Stapleton is at first base. Lucas Gerke at second base. In the batter's box, Gus Sandberg, and Gus Sandberg's going to be hit by pitch on the first offering. So he'll jog down to first base. That'll load the bases with 2 outs. And Gus Sandberg's going to pick up hit by pitch number 5 this season. So timeout on the diamond. Pitching coach going to walk out. He's going to just talk to the pitcher. Said he doesn't need to talk to anyone else. So he'll talk right now, and we'll mention a little bit about the Central Catholic Knights. Central Catholic Knights High School, their school was founded in 1956. I think I failed to mention Indianapolis Lutheran. Their school was founded on August 30th, 1976. If you look back, 1976 was an incredible year for the Indiana Hoosiers basketball team. They went 32-0. Unbelievable. They're the only team that's done that since. Yes, Kentucky came real close. Out of set, here comes the pitch. Foul ball, right side. In the batter's box is Reisman. Reisman batting in the 7th spot. He's playing center field in the ball game. Takes a first cut, foul ball. Count goes 0-1. Number 13, Reisman. That's Calvin. Right-handed batter. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch. Now the set. Here comes the pitch. Low, good block there by catcher Caleb Courteau. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, bases loaded. Bottom of the 1st inning. 1 run in. That's Hudson Gutwein on the base hit by Mikey Stapleton. Pitch comes in low and inside for a ball. Count goes 2-1 to Calvin Reisman. Right-handed batter. Peering in, looking at signals. Left-handed pitcher, Noah Barassi. Long pier. Long pier. Still there. They work out the set position now. Here's the pitch. High and outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Coach Bourdonnais, signals given. Might be the take sign. Bases loaded, 3-1 pitch on the way from Noah Barassi. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch, back door, misses outside, ball 4. So Lucas Gerke comes in to score 2nd run in the ball game for the Knights. And a timeout on the diamond, and a different coach going to walk out. And we'll see what he's going to do. He's the opportunity to pull the pitcher is available, but he doesn't have to in high school baseball. This is his 2nd visit, but he's going to give up the baseball. So Barassi is going to give up the wristband too. We're going to allow the next pitcher to pick up that wristband and use that for the sequence of pitches. And he's going to get warmed up right now. And I believe it is number 4. That's Dax Locklear. He's going to come over from 3rd base. Right-handed pitcher. We'll mention a little bit about the Knights. We'll finish that up. We hope so. Founded in 1956. They have a school enrollment, as mentioned, 302. They're 19-5 on the season. And there's Class 2A, Sectional 37. Their sectional will be played at Lafayette Central Catholic. There are 7 teams in their sectional. In their sectional are Benton Central, Delphi, Lafayette Central Catholic, North Montgomery, Rensselaer Central, Seeger, Western Boone. The principal is Darrell Beck. The athletic director is Tim Bourdonnais. The assistant AD is Charlie Roberts. The athletic trainer is Sarah Igo. And we'll mention Lafayette Central Catholic High School is located at 2410 South 9th Street, Lafayette, Indiana, 47909. You can reach them by phone at 765-474-2496. The Knights on the web is lccathletics.com. They wear the collars, navy blue and white. Their head coach is Tim Bourdonnais. Tim Bourdonnais is a 1987 graduate from Central Catholic High School. Stepping in, right-handed batter, the 8-hitter, number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. Van Kirk playing left field in the ball game. Bases still loaded. 2 runs in. There's 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 1st. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, swing and a miss. Doing the pitching now is number 4, Dax Locklear. Dax Locklear has an ERA of 3.50. This is appearance number 4 on the season for Locklear. Alicetti will check second base a couple times. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch outside, ball 2. Locklear will mention he's got 4 innings under his belt. He's given up 5 hits, 5 runs, 2 were earned. He has walked 4, struck out 3. Takes 22 batters. He's thrown a total of 79 pitches. Pitch comes in high, ball 3. Locklear on the season. Will mention he has can't say that. No hit by pitches, don't have that stat written. Working from the stretch. Dax Locklear out of the set position. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Inside edge, strike call. Count goes 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Take that back, 2 strikes. 2 strikes on Brennan Van Kirk. Working out stretch, now the set. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch outside of ball. Locklear working that breaking pitch. He's got a good breaking pitch. When he gets that dialed in, it's going to be very good for his arsenal. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch, gets a signal from Caleb Courteau. Out of the set, here's the pitch. Taken off on strike 3. Strike 3 is the call. So he'll go down looking. The Knights were on their horses, but strike 3 going to end the inning. So the Knights pick up 2 runs here in the bottom of the first inning. And we'll mention at the end of 1 complete, Central Catholic 2 in Indianapolis Lutheran, nothing. And then we'll go to the second inning. And back on the hill is Vince Talenko. And we'll mention Hoosier Conference. Hoosier Conference at Central Catholic Conference, we'll mention, made up of 9 teams. Those 9 teams alphabetically are Benton Central, Central Catholic, Hamilton Heights, Logansport, Rensselaer Central, Tipton Blue Devils, and Twin Lakes Indians, West Lafayette, and Western. So that makes up the Hoosier Conference. And we do thank you for tuning in. And we'll mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Honey Creek Resort State Park. Check out Honey Creek Resort. We'll mention just a 3-day weekend is on the horizon. Check it out. Time to pack your bags and escape to Honey Creek Resort. Our resort is not only the ideal spot for your next sales meeting or conference, it is the perfect destination for some well-earned R&R. You can unwind, recharge, and make the most of your long weekend in comfort and style. Book online at 641. Go to 641-724-1450. That's 641-724-1450. First pitch, breaking pitch in there for a strike. In the batter's box for the Lutheran Saints is number 11, Owen Lecker. He's the 4-hitter playing right field. Second pitch, outside and low. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Top of the second inning. And then Vince Talenko asked for a new baseball. Might have been Jackson. Jackson probably knew that ball was wet. So he gets a new ball replacement. It's a wet day. Had some rain before the game. Pitch comes in high for ball 2. It might be sprinkling now. It wasn't a heavy rain. It was just an aggravational rain. So peering in, looking at signals, Talenko. Both feet on the rubber. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, going to pop one up. On the infield, it's called for by Mikey Stapleton, shortstop. He didn't have to move a whole lot, and there's 1 out here in the top of the second inning. So next batter going to step in for the Saints. Going to be the 5-hitter, number 99, Gage Meany. Gage Meany is a member of the junior class, left-handed batter. His dad is coach, and that makes it all good. Here comes the pitch. Outside edge, strike called. So Meany takes the first pitch strike. His dad coaching third base. And I mentioned he's a very kind gentleman, good coach. Joshua Meany, the head coach for the Saints. Next pitch, backdoor curveball in there for a strike. Good breaking pitch from Talenko. Good placement. Locked him up right there. No swing. Count goes 0-2. Working from the windup. Vince Talenko. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Backdoor curveball misses outside. 1-2 count to Gage Meany. Where's number 99? Left-handed batter. Working out to wind up the righty. That's Vince Talenko. Here's the pitch. Inside and tight. Meany just did get out of the way in that left-handed batter's box. Count goes even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Top of the second inning. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Inside and low, ball 3. Count goes full at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Meany steps back in. Working from the windup. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. So Gage Meany draws a walk. He sprints to first base. He'll remove the gloves. And next batter going to step in for the Lutheran Saints. Going to be the 6th hitter, number 30, Sam Strader. Sam Strader is the DH in the ball game, and he's batting for the pitcher position. Out of set, Vince Talenko. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch, swing and a miss. Stayed right with it. That's number 30, Sam Strader. Right-handed batter facing the righty. He saw that breaking pitch, that curveball coming in. He hung right with it. Swing and a miss. Count goes 0-1. Stepping back in the rubber, peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch. Talenko, now the set position. Here comes a pitch. Breaking pitch. Misses the zone, ball 2. So Jackson going to have to dry that baseball off with his pant leg. And the home plate umpire says there's 1 strike. So we'll catch up on the count here in a minute. Stepping off the back of the rubber there on that was Talenko, not making a throw to first base. Getting back safely is Gage Meany. Out of stretch, now the set position. Pickoff move, first base. Just did get back. Meany has a little bit of a bounce there. Like he's taking off for second. And that's a difficult move to get back on. So he'll try to not do that again. Going to pop one up on the infield. It's going to be shallow in center field, real shallow. Catch is made by the shortstop, Mikey Stapleton. So there are 2 out here in the top of the second inning. Stepping into bat, going to be the 7 hitter, number 2. I take that back. That is number 21, Caleb Courteau. He is the pitcher. Steps into bat right now. Right-handed batter, ground ball, Mikey Stapleton. He fields it, throws a strike across the diamond to Gus Sandberg, and the Knights are out of the inning. So Lutheran Saints leave 1 aboard. He drew a walk. That was Gage Meany. And the Knights get out of the inning. We'll mention after 1.5. Central Catholic 2. Lutheran Saints 0. So the Knights go to bat in the bottom of the second inning. And again, we do thank you for tuning in. And we'll go ahead and mention Honey Creek Resort. Some more information. Honey Creek Resort, what a beautiful place to be. You can plan your vacation or maybe a weekend getaway. Honey Creek Resort with 840 acres. 840 acres of fantastic nature, fun, recreation, adventures are only a 1 day's drive away. That's Honey Creek Resort. They're in southern Iowa. Southern Iowa right there with owned by fellow Hoosiers, Beth and Terry Henderson. They do have an amazing lodge and cabins with fabulous fishing, boating, golfing, horse carriages, and much more. They truly do have an amazing adventures right there, and their hospitality awaits you at honeycreekresort.com. Check them out, honeycreekresort.com. Make your group, business, and family getaway reservations today. You can call them at 641-724-1450. That's Honey Creek Resort in Iowa. My wife and I have been there twice. And I can't wait hardly for the next time we get to go back. So Knight's going to step in. Going to be the 9-hitter, number 5, Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick plays right field for the Knights. So he'll step in, working from the stretch again, doing the pitching. Right there is Dax Locklear. Pitch comes in high for ball 1. So Dax Locklear, 1-0 count, facing Colton Minnick. Going to take a break in the action. Ball gets loose. He'll step back in. Is Colton Minnick. Working out a stretch. Now the set. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Outside, ball 2. Home plate umpire, he's ready. He's ready to hand the baseball to the catcher should he need it. Baseball dryers, tell you what, it's nice to let the pitcher's dugout dry baseballs because they get him to satisfaction. Swing and a miss. Count goes 2-1 to Minnick. Right-handed batter's box. Colton steps back in. Straightaway stance. Peering in, looking at the pitcher. Dax Locklear, here's the pitch. Swung on, going to pop one up. Might be foul territory, playable. First baseman gives it a call. Just outside the running lane. Catch is made by Gage Meany. So the Knights batting in the bottom of the second inning. Stepping into bat, we're going to see number 9, Hudson Gutwein. Gutwein on the season. He's played in 22 of the 23 games. He's batting .385 in that right-handed batter's box. Here comes a pitch. Breaking pitch. Just misses outside. Dax Locklear, I tell you what, when he gauges that, when he dials in that breaking pitch, he's going to have a good couple of pitches right away. Here comes a pitch inside. Strike called. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hudson Gutwein, his on-base percentage is .583. He was up to 600. His batting average was up to 400. Here comes a pitch, the 1-1. Low for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Right-handed batter, Hudson Gutwein. He's the one-hitter for the Knights. His plate appearances, 96 coming into the ballgame. Outside of ball. Trying to set up outside, little fishing pitch. Nothing doing. The count goes 3-1. And another ball gets loose on the diamond. So let's take a breather. Get that back under wraps. Stepping back in is Gutwein. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch, now the set. Here's the pitch from Locklear. Swung on, foul ball, back to the screen. So Hudson Gutwein on the season, he has 25 hits. 25 hits, leads the Knights. Just behind him is Jackson Kane and Alex Schumer. You're going to take a drive right side out of play. Got a lot of that one. That was, Hudson Gutwein. Hudson Gutwein. He has a 2 home run ball game. He has 2 home runs on the season. They came in 1 game. That was a Rensselaer Central earlier in the season. Out of the set, here's the pitch. Swung on, a shot right side to the Knights dugout. Hopefully everybody's okay. Got a big blue umbrella shields me from being able to see their dugout. The guys inside, that is. You can see a few of the guys inside the third base dugout and the Lutheran Saints dugout. Knights get their first base dugout for the ball game. So stepping back in, Hudson Gutwein. It's either 2-2 or 3-2. Out of the set, Dax Locklear. Here comes the pitch. Outside, it was 3-2. Ball 4. Hudson Gutwein going to jog to first base. And Gutwein picks up walk number 23 on the season. So next batter going to step in for the Knights, number 12, Alex Schumer. Alex Schumer, in 23 games, he's played in all of them. He's batting .333 and on base percentage of .478. Out of set. First pitch from Locklear to Schumer, strike outside edge. So strike called, count goes 0-1 to Schumer. Checking signals, steps back in. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of stretch, checks first base. Dax Locklear, here's the pitch. Breaking pitch. He'll hit it the other way on the ground. Picked up by shortstop to throw across the diamond to Meany. But too late. Safe at first on an infield hit is Alex Schumer. The Knights have two aboard. So timeout on the diamond. Let's check on the lower leg right there. Gage Meany took one maybe off the outside of the shin on that right lower leg. So he's back at first base. Gage Meany, junior class member. Knights going to step in with the three-hitter, number 10, Lucas Gerke. Timeout on the diamond. Throw baseball out of play. It's A.J. Bourdonnais coaching at first base. Coach Tim Bourdonnais' son. Working out a stretch. Runners at first and second. Lucas Gerke. First pitch from Locklear. Inside low, ball one. Number 10 for the Knights. He's a senior, steps back in. He's doing the DHing in today's ball game. Played in all 23 games, batting .333 on the season. Pitch comes in, swing and a miss. Count goes 1-1. Lucas Gerke is on base percentage .545. Gerke, 89 plate appearances. He's got 20 hits this season. Out of set, check second. Here's the pitch. Backdoor curveball in there for a strike. Gerke's a lefty. Dax Locklear is a righty. He throws that curveball outside and it climbs its way back in. That's why it's called backdoor. It's difficult to pick up at times. You got to check the revolution. Out of set position, he'll check second base. Pickoff move, second base. Throws it to the shortstop. He's in the vicinity of second base. They say if he's in the vicinity or is making a move to second, he doesn't necessarily have to be at the bag. But I've seen balks called for less. Swing and a miss. Foul tip, I should say, in the glove, and strike three to Gerke. And we're going to see step in. It's going to be number 3, Jackson Kane. 2 outs on the diamond. I tell you what, I am absolutely watching a silent movie today. I can't hardly hear nothing. So I'm just watching the game and hopefully being somewhat correct. Working out a stretch, now the set. Locklear, he'll check second base. Here's the pitch. Pitch comes in. Strike called. Tie high. Count goes 0-1 to Jackson Kane. Kane's played in all 23 games, batting .364. He has a .512 on base percentage. Working out a stretch, now the set. Locklear, he'll check second. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking pitch outside. Going to get by the glove of Courteau. And the runners are going to move up 90 feet. So the Knights have runners at second and third base. 2 outs on the diamond. Knights yet to score. Trying to score here in the second inning. Dax Locklear has another idea for that. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of set position. Locklear checks third base. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Jackson Kane going to get the gap. Left center field. It's going to bounce once. It's going to go up against the wall. It'll carry him to the center fielder. He'll have to try to pick it up a couple times. Finally does on the third attempt. And Jackson Kane is at third base with a 2 RBI triple. And that's the first triple the Knights have achieved this season. Say, well, usually when I say somebody got a triple, I got to say this. Coach Bourdonnais, when he was a senior at Central Catholic, he set a record, and it still stands. Coach Bourdonnais, as a senior, had 10 triples his senior year. He must have been able to fly. Stepping in, Knights batting is Mikey Stapleton. 2 runs in for the Knights. There's 2 outs. Working out a stretch, now the set. Here comes the pitch from Locklear. Pitch comes in high, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Jackson Kane is at third base. Working out a stretch, now the set position. Dax Locklear. Pitch comes in, Mikey Stapleton. He's going to foul this one right side out of play. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Mikey Stapleton, he's played in 22 ball games. Batting .364. He has a .459 on base percentage. He's been to the plate 85 times in those 22 games. He's got 24 hits. Pitch comes in outside. Short off the glove, a nice stop by Caleb Corto. We'll step back in. 2-1 count to Mikey Stapleton. Out of the stretch, now the set for Locklear. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, base hit. It's going to bounce in one time, bounce, picked up in left center field by the center fielder. That was Nate Hughes. And Jackson Kane comes in to score. 3rd run in the inning. Knights have 5 in the ball game. Base hit RBI for Mikey Stapleton. So the Knights still batting with 2 outs. Next batter to step in is going to be number 30, Gus Sandberg. He's the 6th hitter. Sandberg, his average has been climbing. I tell you what, it really has. It's pretty much doubled. That I should say Gus Sandberg in 20 games, batting .348. Here comes the pitch. Outside of ball. The short off the glove, and it's probably going to be going to book as a wild pitch. So taking off and safe at second base is Mikey Stapleton. I'm not sure that'll go as a stolen base. But as mentioned, Mikey Stapleton has 13 stolen bases on the season and yet to be thrown out. Here comes the pitch from Dax Locklear. Outside the ball. Should stay inside, tighten inside. Count goes 2-0 to Gus Sandberg. Sandberg's a right-handed batter. He's a member of the junior class. He likes football. He's looking forward to next fall, but not till baseball's over. Out of the set, check second. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch high for ball 3. The 3 balls, no strikes. Likely going to have a take sign on. Going to step back in. Gus Sandberg. He's got 3 walks on the season. Out of the set. Here's the pitch. Swung on. He did have a green light. Hit that one out of play right side. If I'm not mistaken on the count, that's 3-1 now. We'll see if it's 2-1. It is 2-1. So he had a green light because it was a 2-1 count. So here comes the set, actually a 2-1 now. Here comes the pitch. Swung on to take a drive to left field. He got a lot of it. Going to back up the left fielder. He'll catch it in front of the warning track. And that catch made by Hudson Mills for the Lutheran Saints. I'll go ahead and mention the parameters right here. At this field, that's D3 at Grand Park. The left field line, the right field line is not marked. I'm guessing it's about 320, 330. Center field straightaway is 390. And in the alleys, it's 370. So pretty good depth right here. That's almost a major league ballpark on the home run fence. So the Knights pick up 3 in the second. We'll mention after 2 complete. Central Catholic 5. Lutheran Saints 0. And the Saints are going to bat here in the top of the 3rd inning. And again, we'll mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Noblesville Trophies. Noblesville Trophies, you can shop them online at noblesvilletrophies.com. Or you can stop in, if only to browse around. They are located at 1740 South 10th Street, Noblesville, Indiana. Trophies, awards, plaques, and more. Fast turnaround, prices are low. They are so low you may want to be a repeat customer. That's Noblesville Trophies, 1740 South 10th Street, Noblesville, Indiana. That's 46060. They are open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you can reach them by phone by dialing 317-773-7391. Again, their number 317-773-7391. That's NoblesvilleTrophies.com. So get ready to step in. Going to bat in the top of the third inning. Lutheran Saints. Right-handed batter. That's number 10, 8-hitter, Landon Parker. First pitch, he'll drive one, pull it foul, out of play, and he got around on that one rather quickly. Out in front of that baseball, the batter again is number 10, Landon Parker. He plays second base. He's a member of the senior class. Here comes the pitch from Talenko. Breaking pitch, finishes low. Ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Parker, that's Landon Parker batting here in the top of the third. Nobody on. First batter for the Lutheran Saints, top of the third. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Stepping back on the rubber, both feet on. Junior class member, Vince Talenko. Here's the pitch. Short off the glove, Jackson Kane. Blocks it, keep it lateral to him, but it's ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. To throw a new baseball out. Should say a drier baseball. They give that one a rub down. The home plate umpire pockets it in that right pouch. He's got 2 pouches. Here comes a 3-1 pitch from Talenko. Breaking pitch, high, just above the zone, ball 4. So jogging down to first base is Landon Parker. 1 aboard for the Saints. Stepping in, going to be number 20, the 9-hitter, Mason Phelps. Mason Phelps. He plays a shortstop position. He's got that hoodie outside that jersey, just in case. We're going to stretch a set position. First pitch from Talenko. Pitch comes in high for ball 1. So Talenko and Locklear happen to deal with the wetness of the baseball. That's a double duty in a game like this. It's not easy. We're going to have a stretch. Checks first base. Now the set position. Here comes the pitch. High and tight. Ball 2. And timeout called. Jackson King going to walk out. Senior class, Jackson King, going to talk to the junior class athlete. 25, that's Vince Talenko. So while he's doing that, Coach Meany at third base, going to talk with the batter, that's Mason Phelps. So here we go, we're going to step back in. Runner at first base is Landon Parker. He drew a walk. Stepping back in the rubber, pitching from a stretch. Vince Talenko out of the set position. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, foul ball, back to the screen. We'll step away, get some signals from Coach Meany. 2 balls, 1 strike. 9-hitter, number 20, Mason Phelps. We're going to have a stretch, now the set. Here comes a 2-1. Pitch comes in, above the zone, ball 3. 3-1 count, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Coach Joshua Meany giving signals. Stepping back in, Phelps. 3-1 count. Runner at first base is Parker. Out of set. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, third base. Fielded by Gutwein. He'll go to second. They'll go 5-4. Try to get him at first base, but they won't get the double play. They'll get the lead runner. And Mason Phelps reaches base on a fielder's choice. So we're going to see the 1-hitter. There's 1 out here in the top of the third inning. Stepping in again, he's the 1-hitter. That's Nate Hughes. Nate Hughes on the season, I'll mention in 20 games, he's batting .351, .532 on base percentage. Out of set, Talenko, here's the pitch. Breaking pitch. Foul ball, right side on the ground. Off the bat of Nate Hughes. Count goes 0-1. Hughes, as mentioned, wears number 1. He's got 79 plate appearances entering this game. He's got 20 hits, 12 are singles, 6 are doubles, and he has 2 home runs. Working out a stretch, now the set. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch misses away. Ball one. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nate Hughes. Nate Hughes has 8 RBI. He has scored 28 runs this season. Out of set. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch, ground ball. Shortstop Stapleton flips it to Schumer. He throws it wide right of the first base bag, and Lucas Gerke couldn't get it. I don't think he was going to get the out, so don't know if that's going to be an error in force because he was going to be safe. Not sure. One thing, I just don't know that answer. So there are 2 outs on the diamond. They erased the lead runner. And we got a foul ball. That's what's happening. We got foul balls from this other field. This other field, 90 degrees away from this field. It's a bigger guy, so they're hitting foul balls on this time. Out of set, Talenko, here's the pitch. Breaking pitch, placed perfectly, strike call. In the batter's box, number 4, Dax Locklear. He is the pitcher of record. Right-handed batter. He's played in all 20 ball games. He's batting .356. That right-handed batter's box, 516 on base. Pickoff move, first base, no tag applied there by Sandberg. And he'll step back in. So Mason Phelps is at first base. Let me double check that. That's Nate Hughes. Here comes the pitch. He's taking off for second base. They're going to drive one to right center. Coming in, trying to make the catch. And he will make the catch in center field. And a nice catch by Calvin Reisman. He had to lay out for it. Kind of a sliding motion. Caught that right off the surface. And the base umpire had to go out and verify. And there's the third out here in the third inning. So top of the third inning. And we'll mention Lutheran Saints hitting the ball well, getting base runners, but could not get a run across there in the third. Knights are going to bat in the bottom of the third inning. We'll talk a little bit about the upcoming schedule. I got this upcoming schedule from Max Preps. We'll hope it's accurate. It probably is. If you didn't know, Max Preps is ran by CBS Sports. So that's a division of CBS Sports. Quite an effort to do Max Preps. Well, I mentioned Lutheran Saints. They are currently 13-8 on the season. They are 10-3, third place in the Indiana Crossroads Conference. Their remaining schedule, we'll mention, they played last night. They defeated Speedway 9-4. The night before, I think they were rained out with Speedway. Tonight, it's Central Catholic and Lutheran. We know that was a 5:30 start. It was right on the money. And then Saturday, they're going to have 2 games. It's going to be an invitational at Pike. I'm not sure who their first opponent will be, but they'll play Irvington Prep Academy in the evening. It's Saturday late afternoon, a 4 o'clock game. And in their sectional, as you know, they're going to play Greenwood Christian Academy, the Cougars, and they'll play that game at 1 o'clock on Saturday, the 31st of May. So that's what they're looking at. I tell you what, the season is quickly going by. It happens quickly. A lot of ball games, a lot of fun. So stepping in for the Knights, let's see right-handed batter, number 13, Calvin Reisman, center fielder. He just made that circus catch for out number 3 in the top half. Working from the stretch, Dax Locklear. Out of set position. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 1. So Calvin Reisman, he steps in. He's played in 13 ball games. This is number 14. He's got an on-base percentage of .250. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Count goes 1-1. Calvin Reisman swings a good bat. 40 plate appearances, 35 at-bats. He's got 6 hits. 2 are singles, 4 are doubles. He'll take a breaking pitch outside for ball 2. 2-1 count to Reisman. Right-handed batter's box. He's sporting those New Balance cleats. Out of set, here's the pitch. Swung on to take a hit to center field. It's going to be right at him. Pretty good judgment by the center fielder. That ball went right at Nate Hughes, and he made the catch. You know what? That is an art. to be able to tell as a center fielder the trajectory of the baseball coming at you or if it's going to drop in. So 1 out here in the bottom of the third, stepping in for the Knights. Number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. Breaking pitch, finishes low and away, ball 1. Van Kirk, he's played in 21 ball games. He's batting .381 in those 21 games, .574 on base percentage. Here comes the 1-0. You're going to pop one up. Playable on the infield. Called for by the shortstop. He'll catch it just slightly out in the grass. And that catch made by Mason Phelps. There are 2 out on the Knights here in the bottom of the third inning. So Knight's going to step in. It's going to be the 9-hitter, number 5, Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick, a right-handed batter. He steps in. He's played in 19 ball games. Batting .231. His on base is .423. Here comes the pitch, breaking pitch, in there for a strike. Colton has 54 plate appearances, 39 at-bats. He got 9 hits. He's got 8 of those are singles. He has a double. Out of set, here comes the pitch. Outside of ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Minnick. Colton Minnick, 6 RBI on the season. He scored 13 runs. He has walked 10 times. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch. Finishes tight. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Steps back in. Right-handed batter, Colton Minnick. Sophomore class. Here comes the pitch. Outside of ball. Count goes 3-1. The Minnick family have good eyesight. I tell you what, his brother, Caden, also drew a lot of walks at the plate. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch. We call that a strike. Outside edge. That was a pitcher's strike. Count goes full at 3-2. We'll step back in. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch. Now the set. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. He's going to get a shot between second and first base. He's going to go to the outfield on the ground. And Colton Minnick would much rather have a base hit than a ball 4. So he's at first base now. Colton Minnick gets aboard with a base hit to right. Knight's going to step in once again with Hudson Gutwein. Gutwein going to step into bat. Right-handed batter. Timeout on the diamond. Another foul ball from the opposite field to my right. 90 degrees to my right. I tell you what, they've got the turf over there. They've got the outfield grass. Looks very nice. Grand Park in Westfield, Indiana. Out of set. Here comes the pitch to Gutwein. Breaking pitch, finishes outside and low. Ball 1. Colton Minnick is at first base. Knights batting with 2 out. We're going to stretch. Now the set. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. He's going to drive one to left field. He's going to back him up initially, and then he'll come back in and make the catch. Catch is made by Hudson Mills, and the Knights are out of the inning. They leave one aboard. It's from a base hit. Colton Minnick. The Knights and the Lutheran Saints have played 3 innings. After 3, the Knights 5, Lutheran Saints 0. Lutheran Saints going to come to the plate here in the top of the 4th inning. And I will go ahead and mention a little bit about the Central Catholic Knights remaining schedule. As mentioned, they are 18-5 on the season. And I will mention they were going to play Lewis Cass on the 20th. Got rained out a couple of days ago. Mother Nature having its way with the baseball fields this particular week. And I will mention right now, as you know, Thursday the 22nd, right here at Grand Park, D3, Central Catholic and Lutheran playing baseball. And we'll mention on Saturday, the Knights will also, they'll play 2 games on Saturday. That will complete their regular season. There'll be home games at Central Catholic. Game 1 will be a 12 noon start with the Logansport Berries. If you did not know, a few weeks, I should say last week, I think it was last week, Logansport Berries and Central Catholic had one heck of a ball game So if you want to see a good game, show up at noon, Central Catholic. Logansport and Central Catholic are going to play on Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 24th. And then after that ball game, Coach Borden, they went ahead and elected and talked with the athletic director at Peru, and they lined up the Peru game that was going to be on a different day. They lined that up to have that game also on this Saturday, 3 o'clock start. It'll be Peru Tigers and Central Catholic. So the Knights will have 2 games on Saturday. Logansport will have one against Central Catholic at 12. And then Peru will have one game against Central Catholic at 3 p.m. And then the sectional. Sectional going to start up. It's going to happen. Begin on Wednesday the 28th. The 6 o'clock ball game. It'll be Lafayette Central Catholic and Rensselaer Central. The winner of that game will play Benton Central on Saturday the 31st at 1. And the second set of games will happen on Thursday the 29th. The 5:30 start will be Delphi in North Montgomery. And then after that game, about a 7:30 start, will be Western Boone and Seeger. The 2 winners will play at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday, 31st. And then the final game in sectional 37 will be at 6 o'clock on Monday, June 2nd. Stepping in, first pitch, be full swing, gonna be a foul ball right on the first baseline. That was number 12 in the batter's box, Hudson Mills. Hudson Mills made that final catch in the bottom of the 3rd inning right there in left field to end the inning. He'll step back in, it's gonna be a left-handed batter. Where's number 12? Hudson Mills. He'll take a ground ball, second base, a one hop on a line rope, picked up there by Schumer. He'll throw next door, get the put out with Sandberg, and there's one out here in the top of the 4th inning. So Lutheran Saints going to send to the plate. Number 11, the 4-hitter, Owen Lecker. Owen Lecker plays right field. Owen Lecker, he's played in all 20 ball games. He's batting .475 in that right-handed batter's box. Keep in mind, .475, and he's been to the plate 72 times. First pitch gets away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Lecker. Step back in, here comes the pitch. Inside and low, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. 4-hitter, number 11, Owen Lecker. Here comes the pitch. I should mention foul. I'm going to drive to right center. I'm going to back up the right fielder. Colton Minnick makes the catch. Colton Minnick wearing those brand new white shoes. So what he looks like, Billy White Shoes Johnson, but he won't know who I'm talking about. But Billy White Shoes Johnson played for the Houston Oilers. He'd score a touchdown, and then he'd do a little dance with his hands in front of his knees. But anyway, Colton Minnick makes a catch. Stepping in, Gage Meany. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Now pitching for the Knights is number 10, Lucas Gerke. So Lucas Gerke doing the pitching. And he'll probably just be in the ball game now. Vince Talenko, the DH, will go away. So pitch gets by Jackson Kane for a ball. Gage Meany. Gage Meany steps in. He's played in 17 games, batting .271 in that left-handed batter's box. Here's the pitch, foul ball back to the wall there. They got a brick wall right there behind home plate. I think they have a pad behind home plate. And right there behind home plate is Mr. Ryan Gerke taking some photographs. And why not? He's got 2 sons playing for the Knights. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch, back door, called strike. And Jackson Kane jogs immediately to the dugout. So locks him up for strike 3. The Knights are going to come to the plate. Going to bat in the bottom of the 4th. The Lutheran Saints come up with 0 runs in the top of the 4th inning. So after 3.5, Central Catholic 5, Lutheran Saints 0. So the Knights are going to bat in the bottom half of the 4th inning, coming right up. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by AGM Auto. AGM Auto, LLC. At AGM Auto, you'll not only be treated with pure professionalism, you'll appreciate their state-of-the-art diagnostics and their up-to-date status of each of the AGM technicians. And AGM doesn't only work under the hood. AGM works toward the recovery and the restoration of the many now beautiful cars and trucks in which are now showroom treasures, mechanically and cosmetically. So what if you want to find your antique car out back? Maybe it's in the barn, covered up with a tarp. If you want to get that car to AGM, they'll make it back look like it's supposed to look when it was brought off the showroom. So we'll also mention your car could be next. To contact AGM, you can reach them by phone at 317-984-5283. Again, their number is 317-984-5283. That's AGM Auto. They're just 4 miles to the east of US 31, right there at 266th Street in Hamilton County. Stepping in. Going to bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's going to be number 12, Alex Schumer, left-handed batter, facing Dax Locklear. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball one. So Alex Schumer, he's played in all 23 games. He's batting .333, .478 on base percentage. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Outside, ball two. 2 balls, no strikes to Schumer. That's with 95 plate appearances. Only guy above him, Hudson Gutwein, with 96 in one less game. Outside, ball three. 3 balls, no strikes. Schumer, open stance, a little bit of an open stance on the instep. We're going to have a stretch, now the set from Locklear. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Pitch comes in high above the zone, ball four. And Alex Schumer immediately going to put his sliding mitt on. Schumer picks up walk number 17 on the season. So timeout on the diamond. We're going to have a conversation. That's Lutheran Saints. They're going to meet the infielder right there. And I think left fielder might be coming into pitch. That would be Hudson Mills. He's going to work his way in. And let's see what they're going to do. And you're going to get a different glove. You're going to get a glove to pitch with. So outfield glove, a little bit longer girth. You're going to come into pitch, and he puts that glove on. You're going to accept the baseball, and going back out to the outfield. And it's going to be number 6, Jackson Basket. Jackson Basket, he is a junior class member. So they're going to get some warm-up tosses. Caleb Courteau going to warm up. Dax, I should say, Hudson Mills, left-handed pitcher, making some good catches in left field. But when he gets some warm-up tosses, he can bring it. I can tell already with his first warm-up toss. So that's Hudson Mills. And I'm Hudson Mills on the season. We'll mention his ERA is 5.25. That don't make a whole lot of difference. We'll mention he's won 1 game. He's lost 1 game. This is appearance number 11. He's pitched in 22 2/3 innings. He's given up 24 hits, 26 runs. 17 of those runs were earned. He has walked 18 batters. He has struck out 33. He has faced 117 batters. He has thrown 453 pitches. So they're going to get him some work right here in this ball game at Grand Park. I mean, they're having this game here on a Thursday, and their sectional game is going to happen next Saturday, the 31st. So he's got plenty of time to recoup, no matter how many pitches he's going to throw here for the rest of the ball game. So the Knights going to send in to bat. It's going to be the left-handed batter, Lucas Gerke. At first base, running the bases, is Alex Schumer. He drew a walk. And now it's stretched. Now the set. Here comes the pitch. Gerke squares the bunt, lets it go by. It's a ball outside. One ball, no strikes. Knights batting in the bottom of the fourth inning. Left-handed batter, Lucas Gerke. Left-handed pitcher, Hudson Mills. Here's the pitch. He's going to square the bunt again. Pulls the bat back. It's a strike. Hudson Mills releasing that pitch right there at about 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock on the wristwatch, and it comes in across the plate. Pretty good pitch right there. Alice said, here comes the pitch. He'll square the bunt again. He'll put a bunt down foul, left side. And the count goes 1-2. So Coach Bordenay trying to move the runners. Coach Bordenay trying to get a runner in scoring position. So Schumer jogs back to first base. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Lucas Gerke. He's got 20 hits on the season. Out of set, here comes the pitch. Outside of ball. Count goes 2-2. Lucas Gerke, .545 on base percentage. He entered this game with 89 plate appearances, 60 at bats. Out of set, here comes the pitch from Mills. Swung on, ground ball. First baseline, it's fair. Stepping on the bag is Gage Meany for the out. So making it safe to second base is Schumer. Schumer slid just in case he needed to. No throw to second. And there's 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Stepping in, tapping the plate, Jackson Kane. Right-handed batter, facing the lefty. Hudson Mills out of the set. He'll check second base. Here comes the pitch. Outside low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Signals given. He'll step back in. Runner at second base is Alex Schumer. 1 out. We're at the bottom of the fourth inning. Here comes a pitch from Mills. Foul ball up against the screen, right side. 1-1 count to Kane. On deck, Mikey Stapleton. Kane going to step back in. Peering in, looking at signals, out of the stretch. That's Hudson Mills. He'll check the wristband. Out of the set position. Check second base. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jackson steps back in, taps the plate. Jackson Kane, right-handed batter, batting .364. Checking the wristband. Mills out of the set position. Here comes the pitch. Inside and tight, nearly got him. Ball 3. 3-1 count to Kane. He's got a .512 on base percentage. He's played in all 23 games, entering this game 87 plate appearances, 66 at-bats. Out of set, here comes a 3-1 pitch. Swung on to take a drive to right field, and a foul ball. Goes out of play. Jackson getting a lot of sweet spot today on his bat. Last at-bat, he took it to left center field. Triple, only triple of the season so far for the Knights. Working out a stretch, checking the wristband. Now the set position. Here comes a 3-2 pitch. Swung on, should take that back. Lets it go. Low, good block there by Courteau. And Jackson Kane draws a walk. 6-pitch walk, I should say a 7-pitch walk. The foul ball and a ball replacement. So Jackson Kane is at first base. Alex Schumer at second base. 1 out on the diamond. Stepping into bat, going to be the 5-hitter in this game. That's number 11, Mikey Stapleton. Plays shortstop for the Knights. We're now at stretch. Checking the wristband. Hudson Mills out of the set position. Here's the pitch. Swung on and take a drive to right field. It's going to bounce one time, going to get by the right fielder. Going to go up against the wall. Mikey Stapleton has some wheels. He's going to round second. We're going to see our second triple in the ball game. This one's off the bat of Mikey Stapleton. So coming in to score for the Knights, number 12, Alex Schumer, and number 3, Jackson Kane. So 2 in here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Next batter going to step in. It's going to be number 30, Gus Sandberg. Gus Sandberg, first baseman. Mikey Stapleton is at third base. Peering in, looking at signals. Left-handed pitcher, Hudson Mills. Right-handed batter, Gus Sandberg. Out of set position. Here comes a pitch from Mills. That's inside tight. Going to get by the glove. Might have been a wild pitch. It was tight inside. Difficult play to make there for Caleb Courteau. And a run comes in to score from third base. It's Mikey Stapleton. And the Knights have 3 in here in the 4th inning with 1 out. Now bases are empty. Gus Sandberg batting. Right-handed batter's box. Working from a stretch. Now the set. Hudson Mills. Here's the pitch. Swung on. He'll fly one out of play. Right side. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Gus Sandberg. Sandberg on the season, as mentioned, in 20 ball games, batting .348, .484 on base percentage. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Mills. Inside, going to get him. Going to be a hit by pitch. Gus Sandberg didn't quite want to be hit by pitch, but he'll jog to first base. So Sandberg on the season. Going to get hit by pitch for the 6th time. That's the 2nd time in this ball game. So they'll even do a little running down beyond the bag there at first base. He'll stay in the ball game evidently and do the base running for Coach Bourdonnais. So stepping in for the Knights, going to be number 13, Calvin Reisman. First pitch from Mills, low for ball 1. Calvin Reisman, he's a center fielder in this ball game. He's played in 13 games. This is number 14. And he's working on that batting average. Out of the set, here comes a pitch. Inside strike called, inside half. Count goes 1-1. Calvin Reisman batting. He's got a .250 on base percentage. 40 plate appearances, 35 at-bats. Out of set for Mills. Here's the 1-1. Low for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 foot in, 1 foot out, looking for signals from Coach Bourdonnais. Sandberg at first base. Out of the set, Mills. Here comes a pitch. Swing and a miss. The count goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gus Sandberg has not attempted a steal on the season yet. Out of set, he'll check first base. Here's his pitch, the 2-2. Inside and low, ball 3. Count goes full at 3-2 for Calvin Reisman. He's got 6 hits. As mentioned, 2 are singles, 4 are doubles. Out of the set, here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and miss, and he'll go down on strikes. He's trying to fight it off, a little bit behind the pitch, but he'll jog back to the dugout, and there are 2 out. At least I hope I'm right. I believe there are 2 out. There is no scoreboard, and I hope I have the score right. And here comes a pitch. Swung on, swing and a miss. In the batter's box is number 41, Brendan Van Kirk. I was doing a ball game, the first game of a sectional for University. And then over their diamond, a ground tripper. Going to take a shot to right field. It's going to bounce in. It's going to be a base hit for Van Kirk. Rounding second base. He's going to try to steal at home. He will. Coach Bourdonnais waving him on. And Gus Sandberg going to score from first base. Ball went down the right field line. It's going to be a base hit for Van Kirk in an RBI. And Gus Sandberg safe at home, standing up. There's still 2 out, but we'll mention I was at round tripper doing a sectional game. The same year that University went to the final game and got beat by Daleville in 8 innings. I did that game too, but they had no scoreboard, no announcer, nothing. At round tripper, it was difficult for me. Ball goes out of bounds, line shot, foul ball. Some youngsters around there, everybody's safe. So no balls, 1 strike. Stepping back in is number 5, Colton Minnick, right fielder. Working out a stretch, now the set. Hudson Mills, here's the pitch. Back up the middle, Mills going to glove it. You're going to toss underhand into first base. Mills with a magnetic glove right there on a sharp hit ball back to the pitcher's mound. And Colton Minnick Going to put his glove on. He'll go back out into right field. So the Knights pick up 4 runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. At the end of 4 complete. Central Catholic 9. The Saints 0. The Saints go to bat in the top of the 5th. Back out on the pitcher's rubber is number 10, Lucas Gerke. Lucas Gerke getting some warm-ups, and we'll also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Discount Copies. Discount Copies, conveniently located at the west edge of Noblesville, Indiana. That's at 46062. Just behind Pizza Hut and next to Bowl 32. That's along State Road 32. At Discount Copies, they provide set-up services where you can turn your artwork into things such as note cards, notepads, prints, and calendars. And it's never too early to think about personalized Christmas cards. They also have posters and oversized printing also available. And if you're planning a wedding, they can print all of your necessary needs. You can reach Discount Copies by phone, 317-773-8783. Again, their number is 317-773-8783, or by Gmail. That's Discount Copies, the number 96 at gmail.com. Discount Copies 96 at gmail.com. So getting ready to step in. It's going to be the Lutheran Saints. I'd be getting a different bat right there. And Joe going to put his batting gloves on. And the bat here, left-handed batter, going to step in bat for Coach Meany. It's going to be number 6, Jackson Basket. Jackson Basket entered the ball game a couple of innings ago when Hudson Mills came to the pitcher's rubber. He went out to the outfield. You're going to put a bunt down, left baseline, left third baseline, foul. He was on his horse. Had that bunt been fair, he was going to be safe with a bunt base hit. But he'll come back and pick up the bat. No balls, 1 strike. Number 6, Jackson Basket. He's got a 300 on base percentage. 41 plate appearances. He'll take a full cut, swing and a miss. Count goes 0-2 to Basket. Basket has 4 hits on the season. 2 are singles. 1 is a double, and 1 is a triple. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Backdoor curveball, misses high and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to number 6, Jackson Basket. He's a junior class member. We're going to have to wind up Lucas Gerke. Here's the pitch. Pitch comes in, breaking pitch low for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Basket on the season. He's been left on base 20 times. Here comes the pitch. Low for a ball. Count goes full. 3-2 count. It was 0-2, and now it's 3-2. We're going to 1 foot on the rubber, 1 foot off. Senior class pitcher, Lucas Gerke. Pitch comes in. He's going to loft one to right field. He'll be called for by Colton Minnick, and he'll make the catch. Nonchalant. Colton Minnick, pretty calm, cool, and collected. There's 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. Set to bat for the Saints. Going to be number 21, the catcher, Caleb Courteau. He's a right-handed batter, right-handed catcher. Courteau batting .308 on the season. First pitch, inside, hit by pitch. Courteau going to jog to first base. You never want to get hit by pitch. I tell you what, you got your dugout saying to wear it, but they're not in the batter's box. So Courteau is at first base now, and Coach Meany going to run for him, courtesy runner, jogging out right now to do the base running. Is going to be number 2, Austin Brandenburg. So Brandenburg going to go out there. Austin Brandenburg. He's a senior class member. On Max Preps, they got him listed as number 23. Coach let me know he's wearing number 2 tonight. So 1 aboard, nobody out. First pitch. in there for a strike. Snap throw to first base by Jackson Kane, and getting back safely was Brandenburg, but he had to work to get back to first. Tag was applied by Gus Sandberg. So 1 ball, no strikes. Working from the stretch. Now the set position. Lucas Gerke, here's the pitch. Pitch comes in, breaking pitch, got the zone, broke away, strike called. Should mention 0-2 count. No balls, 2 strikes. In the batter's box, number 10, Landon Parker, right-handed batter. Stepping off the back is Gerke. Brandenburg playing some games over there at first base, making it tough on Gerke. We're going to have a stretch, now the set. They'll check first base. Here comes the pitch. Ground ball, third base, gloved by Gutwein. He'll throw across the diamond. They'll get the out at first. He thought about going to second base, but Brandenburg was going to make it to second. So Hudson Gutwein throws across the diamond. They get the out at first. So stepping in, going to bat for the Lutheran Saints, number 20, Mason Phelps. Phelps going to step in, right-handed batter. Phelps, .323 on base percentage this season. Out of set. Checks it again at second. Here's the pitch to Phelps. High and tight. He had to hit the deck. Ball 1. So Lucas Gerke working on that control. I tell you what, the ball is damp. That ball it does have some moisture on it. It's not quite a dry day here today. Going to play Hubbard at second base. Pitch comes in outside of ball. 2 balls, no strikes to Phelps. Mason Phelps going to step back in. He got 4 hits on the season. 3 are singles. He has 1 double. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, he'll foul this one right side, out of play. And it's going to get the other field over there, but they're not in the middle of an inning. They're still warming up. So stepping back in, right-handed batter, 2-1 count to Mason Phelps. Out of the set, Gerke. He'll check second. Here's the pitch. Swung on, foul ball, back to the screen. Right side, he'll stay in that box. 2-2 count to Phelps. Right-handed batter. Mason Phelps has 3 RBI on the season. He has been hit by pitch 1 time. He's been left on base 18 times. Out of set, he'll check second. Here's a pitch from Gerke. Breaking pitch, strike 3, and Jackson Kane jogged off the diamond again. Strike 3 looking. And the Knights get out of the inning. They leave 1 aboard. Lutheran Saints leave 1 aboard to pick up no runs in the top of the 5th inning. And the Knights are going to bat in the bottom half. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Lisa Stokes Bear. Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21. She's a real estate agent. She has an IQ that will work for the benefit of you. Lisa specializes in residential and corporate relocations. She has a vast knowledge with more than 25 years of question answering experience. Century 21. Let Lisa look or let Lisa list. Each home is precious. Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21, Sheets Company. Sheets Company, not too far from here, right there where the Hamilton County line and the Marion County line, right there at 96th Street. You'll find her in Marion County. She's a highly recommended real estate agent and a real estate broker. To contact Lisa Stokes Bear by phone or by text message, you can dial her up by dialing 317-513-4086. Again, her number is 317-513-4086. That's Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21. Knight's going to step in. 1 hitter, it's going to be Hudson Gutwein. Gutwein will step in. Right-handed batter. He's a senior class member. He's playing third base nowadays for the Knights. He's played some second and shortstop outside of ball. First pitch off the hand of Hudson Mills. Count goes 1-0. Hudson Gutwine batting 385. He's played in 22 of the 23 games. Out set for Mills. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Might have been a foul tip. I believe it was in the glove. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Working out a stretch. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch outside of ball. Might not have got the grip he wanted. As mentioned, that ball is moist. It's moist. It's got some dampness to it. It's a little bit of a rainy day. We started with some rain starting out the contest. Out of set for Mills. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. You'll take it right side. It could be fair. It's going to be caught fair territory by the right fielder, Owen Lecker. And the Knights have 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The next batter going to step in for the Knights, number 12, Alex Schumer. Alex Schumer hit by pitch in this ball game. He wants to probably reach base with a swing. Outside, here comes a pitch to Schumer. Inside edge, strike called. Even though the catcher, Caleb Courteau, couldn't clean the pitch, he didn't catch it, but it's still a called strike. Some umpires won't give you that strike because your catcher didn't catch that borderline strike. But most will. Out of set, here comes the pitch. Outside and low for a ball. Count goes 1-1 to Schumer. Working out a stretch, lefty facing a lefty. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Schumer. 1 out, bottom of the 5th inning. Out of set, here comes the pitch. Swung on, foul ball. Back to the backstop. Home plate umpire, right-handed thrower right there. I said, well, his umpire, you know he was a player. Most of these umpires did play the game. Some might not have, but not very many. So what these umpires, they still have a love for the game. I mean, it's a good seat to watch a game, but you can help the game be done correctly. IHSAA would love for you to call them and ask them if you can have a scorebook or a rule book to look at, to take the test. Working out a stretch, now it's set. Here comes the pitch. Outside of ball. Alex Schumer, count goes full at 3-2. Hudson Mills peering in, looking at signals. Out of the set position, here comes the payoff pitch to Schumer. Low, and going to get back to the backstop. He'll jog to first base. He'll pick up a base on balls. And Schumer will be at first, and the next batter going to step in. It's going to be number 10, Lucas Gerke. Lucas Gerke is now the pitcher of record. Coach Bourdonnais getting some work right here for Talenko and Gerke in this ball game. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the set. Here comes a pitch from Mills. Swung on, foul ball, back to the screen for Gerke. Count goes 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Mikey Stapleton picks that one up. Looks like Mikey might be giving way to a teammate to bat. I'm not sure. We'll find out. He's the 5 hitter. Out of set. Checks first. Here's the pitch. Outside of ball. I was saying that thinking that Mikey was 4 hitter, but he's not. Jackson Kane 4 hitter. Mikey is 5 hitter in this ball game. First game Mikey's been back. Took some time off. Out of set. Here comes the pitch. Strike call. That rain out with Lewis Cass helped Mikey to get some more rest before this game. So peering in, looking at signals out of the stretch. Now the set position. Here comes the pitch. He's going to take it to left field. Coming in to make the catch. He's a left-handed batter. He takes it the other way. And I'm making the catch in left field right there. We'd have to double check. Going to be the second out. And it might be Owen Lecker. Lecker moved over to left field because Hudson Mills was the left fielder and now he is pitching. Probably the toughest thing I got to do is try to find where guys are at once they leave their initial location on the field. It's not easy, but I'm not good. Out of the set, checks first base. Here's the pitch to Kane. Outside a ball. Jackson Kane getting some good strikes there. Jackson Kane not being forced to swing at a strike out of the zone. And he has to do that a lot. Pitch comes in high for ball 2. It's not very fun to show up as a senior and have to fight off pitches that are outside the zone or be called out on a strike that was not a strike. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, you're going to pop one up. Right field. Coming in to make the catch in right field is Owen left. Not sure there now. I think Lecker is in left field, but the catch is made, and the Knights are out of the inning. Knights come up with no runs. They leave one runner aboard. It's Alex Schumer. He drew a walk. And the Knights are going to go to the top of the 6th inning after 5 completes. It's a 9-0 contest, and the Knights get 0 in the bottom of the 5th. We'll go to the top of the 6th. And the Lutheran Saints are going to bat. We'll also mention today's ball game is in part being brought to you by Scott G. That's Scott Gashaw. He's from Tipton. He played football for the Blue Devils, and he was a good wrestler at the 185-pound class. When time is good, you should share. When time is good, when you share, you should. Share and share alike. Support Indiana middle school and high school athletics. And also bringing you tonight's contest is Fritz in Fishers. Fritz in Fishers and Fritz in Noblesville. They are celebrating 43 years in the car business. That's in the heart of the Nickel Plate District, right there in Fishers. They have late model cars and trucks. Each vehicle pre-delivery inspection. They have 2 Hamilton County locations. One is in Fishers at 8599 East 116th Street. That's right there by the railroad track. You can reach them by phone at 317-842-2228. Their second location, Fritz in Noblesville, right there on State Road 32 between Noblesville and Westfield. You can reach them there by dialing 317-773-2232. And then that's FritzInFishers.com, FRITZ. So the Lutheran Saints going to step in. Going to bat in the top of the 6th. Lucas Gerke from the windup. Squaring the bunt inside tight. And they're going to say hit by pitch. And then the home plate umpire is going to agree with number 1, Nate Hughes. Nate Hughes, he got hit by pitch evidently. He wanted to call hit by pitch. He was taking his lower apparatus off his left leg, and the home plate umpire evidently saw that happening and went ahead and rode the ride with him, but he got hit by pitch when the umpire didn't call it. So we're going on, and runner at first base is Nate Hughes. Stepping in, number 4, Dax Locklear. He didn't square early. Pitch comes in, breaking pitch high for ball 1. So 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Coach Joshua Meany giving signals right there, third base coach. We're going to have a stretch, now the set. Here comes the pitch, he'll square again, he'll pull back, and he was going to make a swing, and pitch comes in. Might have been top of the zone right there. Strike called. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Out of the set, Gerke. Long set, here's the pitch, he'll try to put a bunt down. He'll try to steal second, and Jackson Kane going to throw out the runner. So Jackson Kane throws a strike to second base. And that strike right there going to erase the base runner. So that was number 1, Nate Hughes, hit by pitch, trying to steal second base. So 1 out, stepping back in, 2-hitter, number 4, Dax Locklear. Locklear pitched in this ball game. Second pitcher for the Saints. Here comes the pitch. Pitch comes in high above the zone, ball for a ball. We'll double check here the count. 2-1 count. 2 balls, 1 strike. To Locklear. Out of the set, Lucas Gerke. Here comes the pitch. Short off the glove. That was actually a 3-1 count. So he'll jog to first base with ball 4. So Locklear is at first. 1 out, top of the 6th inning. 9-0 contest. Knights in front. Checking signals. Stepping into bat now. 3-hitter number 12, Hudson Mills. Hudson Mills going to try to help himself. He is the pitcher of record. Out of the set, here's the pitch. Swung on, he will try to. He's going to bounce in there in right field. 1 hop in the glove of Colton Minnick. He brings it in a hurry. Hits the cutoff. That was second baseman Alex Schumer. And the Saints have 2 aboard with 1 out. Runner at first and second. And next batter we're going to see in the batter's box is going to be the 4-hitter. It's going to be Owen Lecker. As far as I know, he's going to make his way. Puts the gloves on. So Hudson Mills helping himself. He's at first base now. Base hit. And a loose baseball from the other field travels across behind home plate. They hold the game up, but not very long. Right-handed batter going to step in. 4-hitter number 11, Owen Lecker. Owen Lecker, he's played in all 20 games. 69 plate appearances, batting .475. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch inside a ball. Lecker's a right-handed batter facing the righty, Lucas Gerke. And that breaking pitch kind of startled Lecker, but it's a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Peering in, looking at signals. Lucas Gerke. Runners at first and second for the Saints. They're going to hover at second base. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Trying to protect, trying to outside, I should say, outside edge. Count goes 1-1 to Lecker. Number 11, he's right fielder. Started at right field. Right-handed batter. Lecker, a .507 on base percentage. Pitch comes in, foul ball, right side, back to the wall. They got a brick wall there. It's kind of like Wrigley Field. That one kind of ricocheted pretty hard. They've got a pad straight behind home plate. I sure hope they put a pad at Loeb Stadium. Here and in, looking at signals, Lucas Gerke. Runners at first and second base, 1 out. 1-2 count to Lecker. Out of stretch, now the set position. Check second a couple times. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouls it back to the screen. Lecker is right on time with Lucas Gerke. Lecker has 29 hits on the season. That leads the team. Right behind him with 28 is Hudson Mills. Appearing in the signals. Out of the stretch, now the set. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. Didn't catch up to it, but foul tip. Might have got off the body of Jackson. Might have got his glove, but he couldn't hold it. Home plate umpire going to walk out, hand deliver that baseball. So Lucas Gerke give Jackson Kane a chance to collect himself. He's okay. Jackson Kane, as you know, he's even going to dust off the home plate. And it's only got those little pellets on it, but he's giving Jackson a little bit more time. As you know, Jackson Kane is going to be a linebacker next year at DePaul University. I'm going to be rooting for him. Out of the set position. Look second base. Here comes a pitch. Outside, swing and a miss. Trying to protect the zone right there was Owen Lecker. And with runners at first and second base. 2 outs, I do believe so, as the infield plays back. Stepping into bat, we're going to see number 99, Gage Meany, junior class member, left-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Pitch comes in low, ball 1. Gage Meany on the season. He's played in 17 games. This is number 18. He's batting .271, .397 on base percentage. He's a left-handed batter. Facing the righty, Lucas Gerke. Here comes the pitch. Outside and high for a ball. Gage Meany, 13 hits on the season. He's got a 2-0 count right now. He's got 10 singles and 3 doubles. And now the stretch, now the set position. Gerke checks second base. Here's the pitch. Outside edge, strike called. Count goes 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Gage Meany. Gage Meany, as mentioned, I believe he has a sister in the dugout. She's probably a manager. Here comes the pitch. Foul ball back to the screen, right on time, just underneath the baseball. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Left-handed batter, Gage Meany, started the game at first base. I believe he's still there. First baseman for the Saints. Out of the set, here comes a 2-2 pitch. Swung on, he'll pop one foul the other way. Giving it a chase is Gutwein. It floats out of play pretty close to the bullpen. Bullpen is basically detached from the field. I tell you what, this place was well thought out. Whoever the architects were for this place, well above my IQ. Because my IQ is not even half of theirs. That's an understatement. So stepping in, 2-2 account to Gage Meany. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Swung on, foul ball, back out of play. It's gonna end up out of play. Got the umbrella of the field behind me. I gotta admit, I got a pretty good vantage point right here. I'm standing right behind home plate. I got about 4 windows here. I'm looking at the far right window. But pretty good place to watch a game, but I am absolutely not hearing anything, just watching the ball game as it happens. Stepping back in, Gage Meany. Peering in, looking at singles out of stretch. Now out of set position. 2-2 pitch again. Foul ball back to the screen. Gage Meany. And what, he's doing well, staying alive in that box. Gage Meany, junior class member, first baseman. Swings a good left-handed bat. Let's step back in. Peering in, looking at singles. Ball's live. Out of the set position. Here comes the 2-2 again. Swung on, he'll take it the other way. But take it to left field. Van Kirk is there. Didn't move a whole lot and made the catch. So the Knights get out of the inning. The Saints come up with no runs. They leave 1 runner aboard. It's Dax Locklear. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. After 5.5. Knights 9, Saints 0. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by McCormick Printing Impressions. Before we dive back into action, we want to spotlight a business that's been printing success in our community for 50 incredible years. That's McCormick Printing Impressions. From business cards to banners, t-shirts to office supplies, MPI is your local full-service print shop, delivering quality, great service, and creativity in every project. Family owned and operated for 2 generations, MPI knows that your first impression matters, so they make sure it's a good one. Next time you need something printed with perfection, turn to MPI, because at McCormick Printing Impressions, they don't just print, they help you make your best impression. That's McCormick Printing. They're in Tipton. You can reach them at 765-675-9556. And McCormick Printing, they help put me in sports. Put Me in Sports makes a poster, has a poster made, and Kristen is the artist right there at McCormick Printing, Kristen Motes. And she designs all these posters, and Put Me in Sports does football, baseball, basketball. And we have a poster with the schedule on it made for every season. And there's been quite a few seasons. And I'm guessing, I don't know how many. But McCormick Printing Impressions are responsible for the Central Catholic Knights posters that they post wherever. So they're still working on the diamond right now, getting some warm-up tosses. Doing the pitching now is Owen Lecker. Owen Lecker wears number 11. Owen Lecker started out the game. We'll mention Lecker started in right field. He's a right-handed pitcher. Owen Lecker, he has an ERA of 1.62. He's got 1 win, no losses. This is appearance number 9. He's pitched 13 innings this season. He's given up 9 hits, 8 runs. 3 of those runs were earned. And I will also mention he has walked 14. He has struck out 17. He has faced 67 batters. He has thrown 264 pitches. And he's hit 1 batter along the way. Stepping in for the Knights. Bottom of the 6th inning is Mikey Stapleton. Peering in, looking at signals, working from the stretch is number 11, Owen Lecker. Now out of the set position, here's the pitch. Pitch comes in just outside the ball. Looked like he had a tail. That ball tailed just a little bit. Not sure if he's throwing a screwball. A screwball is just the opposite of a curveball, but I tell you what, it's difficult to throw outside a ball. Count goes 2-0. There aren't a lot of people on earth that throw a screwball. At MLB, I would guess there's not a whole lot of MLB players that throw the screwball. Here comes the 2-0 pitch to Stapleton. Across the dish, knee high, strike called. Count goes 2-1. Peering in, looking at signals. Number 11, Owen Lecker, out of the set position. Here comes the pitch. Outside the ball. Lecker's got some velocity. He kind of threw across his body right there. Count goes 3-1. Peering in, looking at the glove. Caleb Courteau, the catcher for the Saints. Here comes the pitch. Pitch comes in tight for a ball, and Mikey Stapleton thought he might have been hit by a pitch. Thought it might have got the jersey. If it gets the jersey, that's part of you. It doesn't hurt a bit. But it takes a good umpire to detect a jersey hit by pitch. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the set position. Here comes a pitch from Lecker. Swung on, ground ball, third base. Be fielded there across the diamond. A rocket to first base. And Gage Meany pulls the foot prior to getting the base with the baseball. And that was a good play there at third base by Dax Locklear. But Gage Meany pulled the foot just ever so slightly prior to Mikey Stapleton reaching first and home. The base umpire right there on top of him. So right-handed batter stepping in, Gus Sandberg. Out of the set. Checks first base over the right shoulder. Here comes pitch. Breaking pitch for a strike. I've always thought looking over the right shoulder as a right-handed pitcher in a set position to check the first base runner would throw you off when you turn your head back to locate the glove again. There he goes, right side. Here comes the pitch. Outside, got that across the left-handed batter's box for a ball. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right-handed batter, Gus Sandberg. From the stretch, looks at first base, out of the stretch. Left side, now he'll look right side at first base. Here's the pitch. Swung on, popped up, major league fly ball on the infield. Called for by the first baseman. That's Gage Meany. Gage Meany, just prior to making the catch, looked up to make sure he wasn't going to run in to shortstop Phelps, and then immediately had to make the catch and did a fine job doing it. So Gage Meany picks up the out, a major league fly ball, right behind the pitcher's row. So next batter going to step in for Central Catholic, number 13, Calvin Reisman. Right-handed batter, working from the stretch, right-handed pitcher. Owen Lecker, out of the set position. Checks first couple of times. Here comes a pitch. Swung on, line drive, third base. Going to try to get the double play with Meany at first. Back safely is Stapleton. But there are 2 outs with a good play at third base on a soft line drive to Dax Locklear. The Knights going to send to the plate number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. Brennan Van Kirk. He's played in 21 games, 381 on base, 381 batting average in that right-handed batting box, and 574 on base percentage. Taking off for second base is number 11, Mikey Stapleton. Foul ball left side, gloved right there without a glove by Coach Bourdonnais. Coach Bourdonnais, he's used to doing that with a glove at Purdue, second base. But evidently he played shortstop at Central Catholic. So stepping back in, Calvin Reisman. No balls, one strike. We're going to stretch, now the set. Checks first base over the right shoulder. Over shoulder again, he'll check first. Here's the pitch, taking off, faking a steal. The second there was Stapleton. Pitch comes in, outside edge, called strike to Brennan Van Kirk. So Brennan Van Kirk is the batter, and a right-handed batter. Looking at first base out of the stretch is Lecker. Now out of the set, he'll check first over the right shoulder a couple of times. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, swing and a miss. And the Knights are retired here in the bottom of the sixth inning. So they leave one aboard is Mikey Stapleton. And after 6 complete, Central Catholic 9, the Lutheran Saints 0. The Saints go to bat here in the top of the 7th inning. I will mention today's ball game is also in part being brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment. They are family owned and operated since 1955. You can increase your yield. They have tractors, combines, corn pickers, lawn mowers, etc. Genuine John Deere equipment, new and used equipment available. Extraordinarily the best in the business. That's Reynolds. Visit them at their Atlanta, Indiana location. That's a rural Indiana location in Atlanta. It's right there on US 31 at 1451 East, 276th Street, Atlanta, Indiana. They're just south of the Tipton-Hamilton County line, a couple of miles. They have 5 locations. You can reach Reynolds Farm Equipment at either location by dialing 800-333-6947. Again, 800-333-6947. That's Reynolds Farm Equipment. And we'll mention on the pitcher's rubber now, pitching for the Knights, is number 12, Alex Schumer. Alex Schumer, we'll mention on the season, he's got 11 2/3 innings under his belt. This is appearance number 9. He has started 1 game. He's faced 53 batters, thrown 215 pitches. Win-loss record, he's got 3 wins, 1 loss. He's allowed 8 hits, 6 runs, 1 was earned. He has walked 5, struck out 16, and 5 of those strikeouts went down looking. First pitch, top of the 7th, going to be a hit by pitch. Jogging down to first base is Ryan Redding. Ryan Redding saw 1 pitch and it got him in the backside, and he's at first base now. And then, so the Knights have issued a base runner. It's Redding. He's okay. He's a pretty good sized young man. He's going to do the base running. And a right-handed batter stepping in. And it is number 21, Caleb Courteau, the catcher. Here comes the pitch from Schumer. Going to pop one up. Shallow left field, called for by Van Kirk, and he'll make the catch. There's 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. So back at first base is number 22, Ryan Redding. So Jackson King hands the bat. And stepping in, it's going to be number 10, Landon Parker, another senior class member, right-handed batter. Out of set. Here comes the pitch from Schumer. Swung on, he'll get a shot to left field and coming in to make the catch. Moving to his left again is Brennan Van Kirk. And there are 2 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Runner aboard at first base for the Saints is number 22, Ryan Redding. Stepping in at bat, number 20, Mason Phelps. Shortstop for the Saints, right-handed batter. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, back up the middle, base hit for Phelps. Going to get into center field. Picked up right there to throw it back in. And they have base runners at first and second base. So the Saints going to step in with their one hitter. He's the leadoff batter in today's ball game. That's Nate Hughes. Nate Hughes wears number 1. As mentioned, batting .351 in that right-handed batter's box. .532 on base percentage. Nate Hughes, first pitch from Schumer. Breaking pitch, finished inside, ball 1. Nate Hughes, 20 hits on the season, 12 singles, 6 doubles, no triples, but 2 home runs. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, he'll foul this one back out of play. Nate Hughes, 8 RBI on the season, 28 runs scored. He's a leadoff batter. He's got wheels. Out of set position. Check second base. Schumer. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. Short hops the glove and a good block by Jackson King. The 2 balls, 1 strike. Nate Hughes. Sure glad about this umpire giving a count. I'd be a total mess. I still don't get them all right because I can't quite see his ball hand in front of his left shoulder. Sometimes I can. Runners at first and second. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, swing and a miss. Count goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nate Hughes. Nate Hughes has been hit by pitch 5 times on the season. And Lockleiter is the only guy that's been hit more times, and that's 6. And his final pitch is a swing and a miss. Jackson King turns around, shakes hands with the home plate umpire. And that's going to complete today's ball game. So very pleasing to be here with the Indianapolis Lutheran Saints and the Central Catholic Knights. I feel tremendously honored to be here with them 2 powerhouse football schools and 2 baseball schools that love the game. And we'll mention this game has been brought to you by many, and we appreciate Camino and Company. Camino and Company, a mobile flower shop brought to you by local flower farmers and providers, small business partners, and the Camino and Company founders. In 1984, El Camino SS is their mascot. The mascot, the SS, is owned by B.E. Witham. He is the grandpa of Carly Witham, Elbreth, and Carly is the owner of Camino and Company. The goal at Camino and Company is to please each customer from their concepts to the Camino and Company completion. You can explore their websites at camino-and-company.com. That's Camino and Company. They are now booking 2025 brides. Again, we do thank you for tuning in, and I will mention we hope you'll tune in Saturday. Saturday, we'll mention the Knights will have 2 games Saturday, a 12 noon game with Logansport, and then a 3 p.m. game with Peru. They'll both be Saturday. They'll both be at Central Catholic High School. And we hope you'll tune in. If you can't make it there live, it's always best to see a sporting event live. But if you can't make it, please listen. And we'll also mention the Indianapolis Lutheran Knights. I should say Lutheran Saints. That'd be better. Lutheran Saints. Saints are also going to have 2 games on Saturday. It'll be the Pike Invitational. I don't have a time for their first game, but their second game, they'll go against Irvington Prep Academy. That'll be Saturday, and that'll be at Pike High School, and that'll be a 4:00 start for the Saints. Thank you, Coach Josh Meany, for all your cooperative help before the ball game, and Coach Bourdonnais. And we're going to set this down, and we're going to try to speak a few words with Coach Bourdonnais. And please stay tuned. Oh, excuse me. You okay? Hey, we're post game right now. I'm going to talk to Coach Bourdonnais. Coach Bourdonnais, I tell you what, you played in a nice venue today.
Yeah, it's always nice to come down here and play. Playing against good competition. Lutheran's had a great year and favorite to come out of the South in 1A. So I thought our guys played well. Vince Talenko, I thought, did a really good job. Kind of a last minute decision for him to get the ball, start on the mound, and he gave us 3 really solid innings, shutout innings, and then Lucas came in and did his thing. And so I thought we had a lot of big hits. And I thought, Mikey Staples hadn't played in a week and a half, and came back and had 3 hits today and played a good ball game at shortstop as well.
Jackson Kane got a triple. I got to talk about your 10 triples.
Yeah, Jackson, he got all that ball, especially in a ballpark like this. It's a triple ballpark. You find the gap, and you got a good chance to get 3. And Jackson's been hitting the ball really well for us, and that was a big hit, especially at that point in the ball game.
I was spoiled today. I couldn't tell when the rain stopped. When did it stop?
It didn't really. It kind of off and on. It rained the first inning, and then it stopped in the second, and then it rained in the third, and then it kind of stopped after that. So just glad to be able to play. It's not been a great week weather-wise, but it's going to round into shape next week going into the tournament.
For Saturday, you're going to have 2 games, 12 and 3.
Yeah, we're playing Logansport again, just like last Saturday, and then Peru is coming in after them. Both of those clubs are good. We know what Logansport's got. We were fortunate to come out of there last week with a win. Had to rally in the bottom of the 7th to do so, and so they'll be ready for us, and I know Peru will be as well.